Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Stacy with Crafty Dragon Creations, and today is my video for Teri's Crafty Christmas 25 collab. I'm so excited to be a part of this again this year. I'm gonna just briefly go over everything, but to get all the full detailed information, I do encourage you to go and check out Teri's video that she posted on December 1st. That will have all of the information in detail. Plus, these graphics are available in my Facebook group if you want to check them out, print them out. But yeah, make sure you check out Teri's video because she's really good about going into depth about all the details. There are so many collaborators. There's like 40 plus collaborators, tons of videos. As you can see, here's the calendar. We had a last minute addition there. But this calendar minus that edition is in my Facebook group as well, or you can take a screenshot of that. Sorry for my handwriting, it's terrible. So today is my day, and I'm going to get to my project in just a second, but I do want to briefly go over, I don't know why I said it like that, all the things happening. So there are challenges. There's a challenge video to follow along with. They're going to be released on the first 3 Sundays of December. And the 4th week is for you to catch up and post more pictures. Go to Teri's 3 Facebook groups, which I'll tell you in a minute. And you can visit the events section for all the information about these challenges. The week following the challenge video, you can create the project using the same kit papers or any papers you have and post the pictures. You can also create your own project and post those pictures. So make sure you go to linktr.ee, so linktree/Teri's Crafty Christmas 25, and that link will be down below, so don't worry, you don't have to write that down. Click on the 3 Facebook groups at the top of the list to check out the weekly challenge. Okay? And these are the dates of when the challenges, the duration of each challenge. We also have freebies the first 3 Sundays of December when the challenge videos are released. The freebies will fly. So several of the designers for this collab that are participating in this collab have donated freebies, myself included. So go and get all those. You can only get the freebies from Teri's Facebook groups. Sweet Pea Papers, Junk Journal Tutorials and More, and Junk Journal and Paper Crafts. Paper crafts. Again, you can find those at the top of the link tree. So yeah, use the freebies, make projects, take pictures, post the pictures, and get entries into the big giveaway that Teri is doing for this. So let's talk about that. So how to enter the giveaways. There's 2 giveaways, okay? One on Facebook, one on YouTube. The drawing will be December 31st. To enter, go to the 3 Facebook groups mentioned here. Again, Sweet Pea Paper Junk Journals, Junk Journal Tutorials and More, and Junk Journal Tutorial and Paper Crafts. I don't think that was on the first one. Anyway. In the link tree, post your Christmas projects using any Christmas papers. It doesn't have to be from these kits. It can be from anything that you have. And use the hashtag Teri's Crafty Christmas 25. No apostrophe. Make sure you put that hashtag in your post from December 1st through the 30th. You can do it in any or all three of the groups, and you can post the same post in all three groups for more entries. So there's one post per day per group. Each post is worth one entry into the Facebook giveaway, and there are 20 plus prizes for this, from junk journal digital kits to even a Christmas folio that Teri is giving away. Okay, so that's for the Facebook group. Make sure you use this hashtag or it will not be counted. Okay, use the hashtag or it will not be counted. So, and make sure you spell it right, make sure you get it right, because if it's not right, we can't find it. So, okay. For the YouTube giveaway, which will be again on December 31st, and that's when the video will be posted. To enter that giveaway, comment on any of the Sweet Pea Papers videos that are a part of this collab from December 1st through the 30th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Use the hashtag again, Teri's Crafty Christmas 25, and get one entry per post, one per video, in the Teri Crafty's Christmas 25 YouTube giveaway. 3 junk journal kits are going to be given away for that one. Okay? Don't worry, any of us creating videos, any part of this collaboration, we're not allowed to enter. So you'll see us comment, but we're not allowed to enter, which is only fair. So you have a little less competition there. Okay, so make sure to keep this graphic. Again, I have it in my Facebook group, and you can take a screenshot here. Make sure you use that hashtag. And that is it. Again, check out Teri's video for full and complete details of all of this. Yeah, so the kit I'm using is by Glitz Glamour Glam, and it is called 12 Days of Christmas. And here is a picture preview. Okay, so that is the kit I'm going to be using, and I think I've gotten everything in there. Yeah, so let's get started with our project. Okay, so for this project, I'm going to do kind of an experimental project. I've started doing this on another project I'm doing. If you have been watching me, I started making a journal with this method, but I wanted to do it on this one too because I thought it would be great, especially for the kit I've chosen. And this kind of gives me something to experiment on before I put my other one together as well. So here's, I've got 10 pages done so far. And what I did was I took like all the collage pages that are numbered, 1 through 12. And this is what I've done. So let me do the last 2 with you. So if you haven't seen that other video in which I've started doing this, you'll know what I've done. So here's my paper, here's number 11. And I've just cut off all the white parts. And then I measured exactly what it came out to be. I took a manila file folder, and I made strips that are as tall as my paper, and then 1.5 inches wide. So you can do this with any size paper, just adjust it to your size. The height of this turned out to be, oh, a little more than 8 inches. So I didn't cut off too much. And then I scored right down the middle, so that would be at 3/4. And then I just folded it, and I folded it back and forth a few times because this is how my pages are gonna flip. Okay, so again, the height of my paper, and then 1.5 inches wide, and that gives me 3/4 of an inch to bind with. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm just going to fold it in half. And because I don't always cut straight or perfect, or the paper slips or it prints weird, these are probably a tad bit off here and there, but that's fine. Everything's fine. See, this one I didn't cut quite tall enough, but that's okay. I'll just kind of put it in the center, but I'm going to glue this to half of the folder here. And I want to make sure that I do not glue over the fold. So this is kind of how the process goes, just trying to get that in the center as much as I can. And then I'm only going to glue on the folder for now, leaving these open, because I don't know, I could glue them together. I might want to make pockets. I don't know yet. So I just left the option open. So, and you can use any kind of glue on this. You can use tape, whatever is your preferred method. And then I want to make sure the other side is not going to be on that fold. So I may have to adjust my fold a little bit. Okay. My lighting in here is weird today, so it's kind of hard for me to see, but okay, so I'm going to get this glued down first and then kind of worry about my fold over here. Try to get these as even as I can. See, I don't get it very straight, but that's okay. So I'm going to take my thing here and push this out so that it will fold properly. There we go. Okay, so there's that one. Of course, you can ink if you want. I might end up inking, but I'm not yet. Okay, so this is our last page, so I'm gonna do this again with you. We're just gonna fold that in half. Again, as tall as the page, although this one is a little bit shorter. 1.5 inches wide, scored down the middle, so you have 2 3/4 panels there. And then we'll just glue this in between the papers, as much in the middle as I can. Make sure it's not on the fold. And glue it down. Of course, I moved it. But if you're not using art glitter glue, art glitter glue, you have a little bit of time to move this around. So, okay. All right, then this side, I want to make sure it's not going to be on the fold. Oops. Almost did that wrong. Alrighty. Okay. So there, then, we have our 12 pages. And I'm thinking, because as you add decorations and stuff, if I mean, you could just glue these together, but they're going to be hard to open once you get stuff in there. So I think I'm going to 3-ring bind it, and then I'll make a cover front and back. So this will be like a little binder. Okay, so I have these. These might be too big. Of course, I only have 2 green ones, but we can do 2 green and the gold. Could even do the blue. There's lots of blue in here. Let's do the blue. So if we punched holes and have these as the binder, I think that would work out pretty good. Because then you have room to grow. And decorate, and you could even take them out if you wanted to. So I think we're going to do that. And we're going to do green, blue, green. Okay. So I will make a cover, but first I want to punch my holes. I'm trying to find my ruler. Okay, now I know not all of these are exactly the same size because, well, that's just how my life works. So what I'm going to do is make a template out of this first one. So let's see, it's about 8 inches. I need to divide that by 3. Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna put, okay, first of all, I'm gonna put this on my mat, and let's see if I can just stay there. Okay, so we're gonna go on this ruler. I'm gonna use, I don't know if you can see, but there's all these little grid lines. So I'm gonna use this line right here as my measurement from the edge. Okay, so there's the middle. That's where I'm gonna punch. I don't think you guys can see that yet, but. And then come into and come into, let's see, maybe 1.5. Come in 1.5. Okay. So then I think that's where I'll punch my holes. And I have a 3 punch, hole punch, but you know, who knows where it is. So I'm just going to use my one. Oh, wait, I have an idea. So that I can see where that's punching, I'm going to draw a very light line that is not straight. I guess it probably is. Okay. I don't know if this is going to work. Okay. I should probably be using my crocodile. Okay, so there are my template holes. Erase my pencil. And then I'll just go through each one of these here. And, oops. Make my holes. Or I can also do this, actually. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to do this for these 12 pages, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have all of my holes punched. So let's see. Okay. Oops, I didn't get that one. There we go. You could have just gotten away with 2, but we'll go ahead and put this third one in because we've already punched the holes. Alrighty, here we go. Now, am I going to do anything with this? I don't know, actually. I might ink, I might decorate it, I might leave it. I'm not sure yet what I want to do with that. Okay, so that's cool. I like that. I got the 12 days of Christmas. We can always take it out and decorate it if we want to or need to. So now we just start decorating. And I think what I'll probably do is just kind of speed this part up and cut parts out that are making this take too long. And then also try to figure out what I want to do for the cover. And then we'll do a final flip through. Okay? Hello, future editing Stacy here. So I was going to leave the decorating part in and just speed it up. However, about into day 4 or the 4th day of Christmas, my camera shut off and I didn't realize it. So I just kept going, and then I realized at about the 10th day of Christmas. So I had to cut all that out. I'm so sorry. But I will do a flip through and kind of go through what all I did at the end of this video. But until then, let's make the cover. Okay, so now it's time for the cover. And I have these cardboard envelopes, packaging envelopes. And I kind of sanded them down because they were kind of that glossy stuff. And I'm going to use these as the cover. So, let's see. I won't have to cut them down too much. In fact, I may not cut them down at all because then I can use that pocket. I know it'll be a little big, but I think that's okay. We're just gonna try it. Okay. First thing I am going to do though is I'm going to cut this off. Am I? Yeah, because you can't really reuse that. I mean, unless I, well, could just cut that off. Oh, maybe I'll leave it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. And we'll just cut this part off. And then when I get to decorating, I'll take this off and yeah, that'll work. Where's my other one? Right here. All right, so snip that off. All right, so what I've decided to do for the cover is I took all the pages that I used in the journal and I printed them smaller, and sorry, I'm gonna collage with it. So, and then I can take like some of the fussy cuts and put them on there. But I thought that would be fun. And I think I'm gonna use my ripping ruler here to rip them apart. First, let's get rid of all the white border. Oops. Probably don't even really have to do that. Okay, so then I'm just going to, let's see. Kind of start ripping it up here. You can always adjust later. This way, all the sides will have that ripped look. I'm probably not going to ink because there is white, you know, in a lot of this. So I don't feel the need to hide the white. So, okay, I'm going to rip all these up and then I'll come back. Okay, so I have them all cut up. Sorry, my lighting is kind of weird. and they're just kind of in little piles all around my desk here. So hopefully I can kind of do this somewhat evenly. I think I probably have enough. So let's see. I think I'm just going to use glue stick, and then I'm going to Mod Podge over it. I am not going to worry about the glossiness of the Mod Podge. I think it'll be fine for this project, and I'm not going to do the flaps. So I think actually I'll just turn that over. Oops. So kind of get this going here. Okay, so I have these two done. I was gonna take some of the fussy cuts from the kit and kind of put them on there, and I started to, and I was like, that is way, I mean, this is pretty busy, so I just thought that was too much for my eyes. But I did take a couple of like the plain background stuff that I had left over, like this was a background page, and just kind of filled in some gaps. So there we have that. And then as I was cutting off the sides, I thought, I really don't like, you know, this. So what can I do? So I'm going to go back and put some more on the edges and wrap it around. And then on the inside, we'll just put like some paper or something. That way we have nice clean edges. The envelope's not going to show, and I think that'll look a lot better. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so here we go. I've flipped some of that over, so, and then I'll cover this with like a single piece of paper. I'll probably print off a couple of the plain pages, and there we go. This is still pretty tacky, so I'm going to let this completely dry. I'm going to put it under some books, and then when that is done, I will come back and we will continue. Okay, so I have this all covered. It's dry. I've put on the black, marked where my holes are going to be. This one I went ahead and put together and just made the coin envelope style closure. And I knew it was going to be hard to get this through, you know, in here and figure it all out or whatever. So, did a little trick that I'll show you how to do. So I got that one. So let's do this one. And I've already got my stuff poked and ready to go. Okay, so when you either don't want to or forgot to do a hole where it's kind of seems more difficult to put this on, just take another circle or square or whatever. It can be the same size as your button or your circle. It can match your paper, it cannot match your paper. That's just kind of up to you. It is going to be seen if you have it. Well, I think it'll be seen either way. So I went ahead and did mine out of black cardstock, and I went ahead and did it a circle size, excuse me, bigger. So I'm just going to punch my hole again in the same place. And you do go ahead and put this through both. And then lay that as flat as you want. Make sure you can still get under here to put your string. And then this whole thing is going to be glued down, so you still can get under there. So And depending on the size of your brad, sometimes it's easier to go ahead and make that circle bigger so you have more area to glue down. Just so you know that it won't go anywhere. Kind of get that about the same place. Oops. Should have used my art glitter glue. And then your other one, of course, you can get up here. Just kind of eyeball it. And then this one up here, I just put some washi tape on to cover that, cover the brad. I have this black, although it's a lot darker black, but you can definitely put a decorative one on there if you wanted to. Or you can, if you think about it, you could put this on before you put that on, but I never remember. Okay, so I got that. Oops. And we'll put our string on. Try to make a square knot if you can. Left over right, right over left, or however that goes. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so then we have our closure. And I like to just put a little knot at the very end of this so that it won't fray and come apart. Okay, so there is that. Now, I'm gonna get my crocodile here because I think it'll be strong enough to go through this. This is pretty tough. Plus, I can see where I put my holes. So let's do this. Get out of there. Here we go. Okay. And then I'll mark it on this one in the same spot. Get my little white pencil here. Do this one. Okay. And because this is pretty tough, I'm not going to put eyelets on it. I don't think. I might do it maybe just for decoration. I'm not going to do it on all the pages because that's a lot of eyelets. But let's go ahead and put them on here. Let's do the gold. Okay, so I have the eyelets in. And now, uh-oh. I did that on the wrong side. I mean, I guess I could turn it upside down. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we'll just have it upside down. This can be going up. Why not? Alrighty. Wonder how many of you were screaming at me. No, you're doing the wrong side. Oh well. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh goodness. This is what happens when you're not really paying attention. Okay, well, I'm still not paying attention. There we go. I'll get there. I'll get there. Y'all, it's been a week. It's been, oh, and that's not gonna match. Man. Okay, well, so, okay, this is what not to do. Oh no! All right, well, we're just gonna have holes, I guess, on both sides, because I was not paying attention. Okay. But you know what? It happens. And you know what? We'll put holes on this side too. So it looks like it was intentional. And then you could close it if you wanted to. There you go. I meant to do that. Okay, let me get these eyelets and stuff in there and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we have our holes on both sides. Oh, it's kind of cute. I mean, you could string something in here to break that up. So maybe that was a happy accident. All right, so now we can put these together. Okay, there we go. It's all put together. We could definitely use this as a closer because this is already kind of gaping a little bit, but look at that. How fun. All right, so let me do a brief little flip through and show you how I decorated the pages. All right, so we have our envelope there. Here we have a pocket that I made a window. This is going to be my temporary insert to show you things. And then here we have a little side pocket. This is the cutout from this window. So I just made a little side tuck. Here we have a little corner pocket. And then here I have two little envelopes, and yes, they are wonky, but I'm okay with that. And then they're also made into pockets. This one is a up pocket. So we have little tags that go in there. And I did not make that a top pocket, just the bottom. Here we have just a little side tuck piece. Here we have, this is not a pocket in itself, but I didn't make it into a double pocket. It's just a single little full pocket with a little tag. Here we have a over the top, it's a big paper clip is what it is. So, and then there's a little pocket on either side. But then when you put this on, you can also tuck something underneath there. So we got that. Of course, that side as well. Here I have a belly band. Here we have another pocket, kind of like one of those exploding things. Made it into a window. So we have that. There's also kind of even a little tuck here because I didn't glue these all the way down. So you could have a little extra tuck space there. Here I made some little circle pockets that you can put little tags in, or tickets or whatnot. Here I did another little corner pocket. This, I don't remember. I think I just kind of came up with this. I don't really know. But you have a big tuck here. And then there's like a little pocket here for something small. You could even go this way. And then there's like another little tuck here. So these would be for, you know, something smaller, of course. But then you have this big. And this is made from one sheet. And the way I folded it wraps around. So you have that on both sides. I think I have a video on this. If I do, it's in my big idea book. Or I might have just done it. I don't remember now. It is currently in my idea book, but I don't remember if I did a video on it. So if you would like to see how I did that, let me know. I'll be happy to make a video on that. Here I took this page and just kind of tore it haphazardly. So we have a big tuck pocket here, and it's kind of looks like this might be the pocket, but it actually goes this way. Then on this side, I did another belly band, but I made it a diagonal one and just kind of tore around this thing here. So we have a belly band there. Here we have an envelope, nothing fancy or special, and I've just tucked it inside here, and then, which you don't have to, but, and then I just use a paper clip to hold that on. Here we have another envelope that is glued on. So we have, you know, the envelope here, and then we also have a little side tuck there. Here we have, this is a double pocket. You see this right here? So there's that, and then I'll just take this scrap piece of paper. Then there's another pocket there. So one in the back and one in the front. In here we have another side tuck here. Here I used that Tim Holtz die cut. Kind of hard to see, but you know, you have all these little pockets that you can put stuff in. I think there's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 little pockets there. Should have put that on the 5 golden rings page. So anyway, there's that. Here is like a triple belly band. So so there's one here, and there's one here, and then there's a little one here, and you can either go all the way through, or you can weave it, or you can weave it this way, or just go under two. But I thought that was kind of fun, and I purposely did not, you know, put them perfectly spaced apart. So there's that. Here we have a simple pocket. I used a die cut. Just a little pocket there. And then here I took the, when I cut this one out, I put book page underneath it just so that I can make sure I get a good cut. And I was able to get this from it as well. So I wanted to use that, so I just made another little envelope and used that on there. And again, I'm tucking it in here, but it could just be paper clipped or glued or whatever suits your fancy. So there we go, guys. There's our 12 days of Christmas journal. Like I said, we could put some ribbon or something in here to have this as the closure, so it's not a total bust, but I fixed the problem. Almost anything can be fixed. So all right, guys, that is my project for Teri's Crafty Christmas 25. I hope you enjoyed it. Please go check out everybody else's videos. Many more to come throughout the month. Mine's pretty early, so lots more inspiration coming. A ton of great creators and collaborators and designers, and yeah, so thank you, Teri, for inviting me to do this collab, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. Until the next one, bye-bye.